Today, we're checking out a bunch of dinosaur figures from my collection that have special features, whether it's sound effects, extreme battle damage, or action buttons. So let's actually get started with these brand new Jurassic World Dominion figures. First, let's check out the Dimetrodon. This is a pretty small figure, but its legs and its neck moves, and you can open and close the jaw. And the biggest feature is the battle damage on the side that you open and close by pressing right here. That's really cool. I do love these battle damage features. This is a really cool way to be able to turn it on and off like that. Next up, let's check out the Coelurus Extreme Damage. This figure is also pretty small, but you can adjust the legs, the arms, the neck, and the mouth as well. And of course, the extreme battle damage feature right on its stomach. That is pretty cool. Next up, we've got the Jurassic World Dominion Velociraptor Extreme Damage Edition. This Velociraptor has some pretty cool coloring. I like the white and then the dark blue on top. This figure is also very adjustable. You can move the arms, legs, neck, and you can twist the tail around too. And of course, there's that battle damage feature on its side. That is really cool. I've got one more brand new figure to check out. This is the Camp Cretaceous Allosaurus. Let's see what features this has. All right, this is a medium-sized figure, and you can see that the action is a slide action lever. So this activates the sound effects and moves the jaw as well. That's pretty cool. So you can see that there are 3 different sound effects and 3 different levels that you can open the mouth. Check out that dark tongue too. That's pretty unique. Next up, we've got a bright yellow, pink, and purple Parasaurolophus. Let's see what features this has. That's pretty cool. So this has sound effects as well as a tail feature that controls the face. Over here is another Allosaurus with different coloring, but you'll see that it has the same lever slide action. So it has 3 sound effects and 3 different levels of opening the mouth. I'm pretty sure those are the same sound effects as the other one, but this is still a pretty cool figure. Here we've got one of the new Jurassic World Dominion T-Rexes. Let's see what features this has. It's got a button on its tail. Uh-oh, I think the sound effects on this one aren't working quite properly, but it does have a roar sound effect, and it also has a sound effect for when you move its tail to control its face. Right here, we've got a classic Jurassic World Indominus Rex. Oh, look at that. There's some sound effects already. So when you pull down on the arms, it opens the mouth and roars too. It's kind of hard to see in the light, but its back actually lights up. Next up, a new dinosaur from Jurassic World Dominion. I believe this is the Rajasaurus. Got the brown body. Let's see what actions this has. That is really cool. So it's got a couple sound effects, and when you press down on its body, it has the chomping action. Here we've got an interesting looking dinosaur. I'm actually not sure what type of dinosaur this is, but it is a super bright one. It's got the blue on the bottom and red all over the top, and then the bright red and yellow on its face. And it's got some sound effects too. You can see that there's a little battle damage right there. You can press down. And when you move the legs, it flaps its wings. You can hear that sound effect for flapping its wings too. This, I believe, is a Magingasaurus. This is a smaller figure, but it is quite loud. You can see it has a ton of different sound effects already coming from it. Over here, we've got this super special, I believe it's a hybrid Indominus Rex. Let's see what features this has. I believe first when you pull down on the arm, that's really cool. So it is a battery operated chomping, and it has sound effects at the same time. I think this has actually another feature too. There's a hidden button right here that shoots out some spikes. And there's more sound effects too. Up front here, we've got a super unique looking dinosaur. This is the Scorpio Rex. Let's see what sound effects and special features this has. So it's got some sound effects, it's got a jaw chomping action, it's got a claw slashing action with different sound effects too. And it's actually got a tail swiping action too. There's no sound effects for this movement though. Here is another giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let's see what features this has. See, there's a button on the tail. Plus, the tail swivels back and forth to control the head. That's cool. It's got a motor in it that moves the head back and forth. Plus, there's sound effects. This is a Baryonyx, and I believe it comes with sound effects. We've got that slide lever action again. Let's hear what sounds it has. That's cool, so 3 different sound effects for 3 different levels. Right in the back here, we've got a huge Indominus Rex with battle damage. Let's see this in action. That's really cool, so it's got some sound effects to go with the battle damage, plus there's a button on the tail for the roaring. Here we've got a pretty cool looking herbivore. This is an Aranasaurus. It's got a pretty adjustable body, and the special feature is the action slide on its side. So we've got quite a few different sound effects for this dinosaur, and it has multiple spots for moving the head too. Right in the middle here, we've got a huge T-Rex with some pretty unique coloring. It's kind of camouflage colored, but let's check out the special effects of this dinosaur. First, you can see that there's a button on its foot so that when it's walking around, it has stomp sound effects. Plus, with the tail, you can control the face for chomping and roaring. Here is an old Jurassic World Velociraptor. This Velociraptor has a chomping action. It's got some sound effects with it. Plus, it's got a battle damage button that lights up when you press it. Next up, we've got an Ankylosaurus. I think we actually have another Ankylosaurus in here. Both are a bit different though. This one has a slide lever action. For this dinosaur, there's quite a few different sound effects for when you activate the lever. On this Ankylosaurus, there is just one button on its back for swinging the tail back and forth. Over here is an older Jurassic World figure, and it actually has a few special features. The first is with its feet. It has a sound effect for stomping up and down. But the biggest feature is when you cock the head back so it's in the roaring position, and then you release it downwards for a chomping. Up next, from the Jurassic World Dominion movie, is the Therisinosaurus. Let's check out those huge claws and the special features on this dinosaur. It's got some sound effects when you move the tail, and a different sound effect for the chomping. Here we've got a little Carnotaurus. This dinosaur has a few different features. The first is a button on the top for blinking the eyes. And the second is a trigger on its tail for chomping. Oh, right here's another Carnotaurus. This is a medium-sized figure with darker coloring, and this Carnotaurus has an action button on its tail for the chomping and sound effects. Here we've got a huge herbivore. This is a Sinoceratops. Let's check out the special features on this dinosaur. So you can move its head all around, and it comes with the sound effects for when you move it too. In the back here, we've got a Ceratosaurus that's brown and orange in color. Let's check out the special features. That's pretty cool. It's got a few different sound effects. This is an Indominus Rex. This is a pretty cute little figure, but let's see what special features it has. You can see there's a button on its nose right up here. And there's actually a button on its tongue. Plus, you can move the tail around to open and close the jaw. This is the Irritator. Let's see what special effects this has. You can already tell there's a ton of sound effects, and the tail actually controls the head too. This is a good old Triceratops. With this Triceratops, you can use the tail to control the head, and it comes with a bunch of sound effects too. This is a Monolof Asaurus. You can hear a hissing sound as one of the sound effects, which is pretty cool. That's really unique. This dinosaur is an Edmontosaurus. It's got some pretty unique coloring, and as you can already hear, it's got plenty of sound effects. Next up, this is a super intimidating looking dinosaur. This is a Kentrosaurus. Let's see this slide lever in action. That's pretty cool. So the slide lever activates the spikes for slashing back and forth. And last but not least, a good old Baryonyx. Let's see the special effects of this dinosaur. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we're checking out my huge collection of predator dinosaurs. And I've even got some brand new ones to unbox today. Let's go ahead and get started with the biggest one. This is the Release and Rampage Pack with an Velociraptor in it. Let's go ahead and open it up. All right, we've got our Velociraptor in this cage right here. You can control it with the tail in the back. And then we've got our character right here. And what you can do is you release the door, it slides upwards, and there comes the dinosaur. Oh, look out, it's an Velociraptor. Let's check out this dinosaur too. I love that coloring. That is super cool. And look at all those teeth too. That is awesome. And of course, it's got the DNA reader right on the top too. That is super awesome. I'm super excited to add this to my collection. Let's move on to the next one. All right, our very next brand new one is this dinosaur. I believe it's pronounced the Rajasaurus. Let's open this up and see what it can do. All right, here it is. Let's pop that tail on. That was easy. All right. So this dinosaur has some pretty interesting coloring. It's mostly dark brown, and then it's got that speckled blue right on the top right here. And it's got an action. Let's see what it does. You ready? Here we go. All right, comes with its own sound effects too, with a chomping action. That is super awesome. And we've got another brand new dinosaur. This is a Velociraptor from the Hammond collection. That is super cool. Let's see what this Velociraptor looks like. All right, so here it is. Let's pop that tail on. Wow, this tail is a lot more adjustable than the other Velociraptor tails that I have. And check it out. This Velociraptor is super posable, a lot more posable than most of the Velociraptor figures that I have. Look at that, you can move its arms and its knees, its elbows. You can rotate its head around, up and down. That is super detailed, and the coloring on this is really cool. It's darker than most of the other Velociraptors that I have. So this one will look super cool with my collection. All right, let's dig into the rest of these dinosaurs. Let's start with this humongous Indominus Rex right here with battle damage. You can see it right there, and you can flip it on and off. so cool. The arms are adjustable, and you can control its jaw too. All right up front here, we've got a massive Tyrannosaurus Rex with camouflage coloring. That is pretty cool. I think this is one of my favorite T-Rexes that I have, actually, because of how camouflaged and how perfectly it would blend into the jungle. So you wouldn't even know it's sneaking up until it's too late. Watch out! Got another huge predator dinosaur right here. This is the Spinosaurus. And look how narrow its head is. And all those teeth in the front. Spinosauruses actually like to eat fish and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. Ooh, here's a super bright dinosaur. This is the Monolof Asaurus, and it's got tons of sound effects too. And look at that interesting crown on its head. It's like bright orange. That's so interesting. Right over here, we've got a brightly colored giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. Look at this one. It's kind of like spotted too. It's got an action button right up the top here to operate its mouth. That is super awesome. This is a very unusual colored Tyrannosaurus Rex. Wow, check out this ginormous one that we've got right in the front up here. This is a Mosasaurus. I bet you recognize this from the Jurassic World movies. This is a huge dinosaur that lurks beneath the waters, so you better watch out whenever you go swimming in deep waters if you're in the Jurassic World. All right, we've got a bunch more Tyrannosaurus Rexes. Each of them have their own unique function. Look at this one. It's got a button up top. You press it, and it does a tearing action with its jaw. And it's got a tail sweeping action too with a button back here. That is so cool. Up next, we've got a brown Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one has a button right up top, right on top of its head to operate the jaw. That is so cool. And this one is fully posable as well, and I love the detail to its skin all over. That is so cool, super realistic. Up next, we've got an orange Tyrannosaurus Rex with battle damage. Look at that right there. It's all over its body. That is so cool. Even on its tail, too. And just like the last Tyrannosaurus Rex, this one has a button up top for the roar function. Wow, look at that tongue and those teeth, too. Here is another giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I believe that this one is from the Dominion line as well from Jurassic World. This is super cool. Look at this button on its tail. You press that. Wow, check out that roar, and check out how big it opens its jaw too. That is huge. And just like our other T-Rexes, you can wiggle the tail and it moves his head too, which is pretty cool. All right, let's keep digging for more predators. This is the mighty Carnotaurus. Check out those horns on the top of its head. And look at the size of this body too. That is one massive dinosaur. Up next, we've got another Indominus Rex. This one's a little bit smaller than the last one we saw. And it comes with some battle damage too. Look at that, you can open it and shut it to hide the battle damage. And when you move the tail, there goes the chomping action too. This predator is an Allosaurus, and check out that awesome blue coloring on its back. It's got the darker blue on the rear, and then a lighter blue on its neck and its head. And this dinosaur has a chomping action too. And right over here, this is an awesome colored dinosaur. Look at all that red. This is a Ceratosaurus. And look at that horn right on the tip of its nose too. That is pretty awesome. And this dinosaur also has a chomping action. Up next, you better hope that you don't find this dinosaur in the water. This is a Sarcophagus. Look at that super long mouth and that huge snout right on the end. Look at all those teeth too. That is so cool. And right over here, we've got the mighty Albertosaurus with battle damage. You can even move its ribs up and down and completely cover it. Or if you want to see the stomach or whatever that is in there, it's kind of squishy. You can also open it all the way, just like that. Look at that battle damage on its leg too. That is so cool. All right, here is one of what I think is the most scariest of dinosaurs. This is the Scorpio Rex. This toy has the roar action and a slashing action with its hands. Check out those huge claws on its feet, and of course, the poisonous quills on its tail. Up next, another predator. I think this one looks like a Ceratosaurus, don't you think? Because of that horn right on the tip of its nose again. But this one's colored very differently. This is like a brown with like orange speckles on it. Check it out, that is so cool. Let's keep digging. What else do we have in here? Oh, look at this one. I believe this is a Carnotaurus, but it is colored way differently than the other ones that I have. I think it's a Carnotaurus because of those two horns on its head right there. But I love the coloring on this. It's like striped, and it's got those bumps all along its skin too. That is super cool. Wow, look at this one. This is ferocious looking. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it looks like an Endo Raptor. Don't you think? Definitely looks sneaky. And another one of my favorite dinosaurs, the great Velociraptor. And this one is super posable too. Check it out, you can move basically every limb on this dinosaur. And open and shut its jaw as well. All right, here we've got another mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one has unique coloring. I don't have any others that have the black striping on the top like this. And this one is more of a model, so you can't move any of the limbs or the mouth or anything like that. So this dinosaur would look great on your collection shelf. Oh, what's this right here? This is a different looking dinosaur. I think it's a T-Rex, but it looks to be battery operated. Let's see what it does when we turn it on. Oh, it's a walking T-Rex. I can hardly keep it in my hands. That's pretty cool. And I think you can open and shut its jaw too. Look at that. There you go. There's still so many predators left. Check this out. This is another Allosaurus with different coloring. This one is pretty cool. And look at that interesting thing right above its eyes. That is super cool. And of course, it's got a chomping action. Better watch out. Ooh, look at this one. I believe that this is actually a baby Giganotosaurus. You can tell it's not an adult size yet. And it has some features that make it look like more of a juvenile dinosaur. But that is pretty cool still. And it's got the movable jaw as well. Right over here, wow, this is an interesting looking dinosaur. It looks kind of like a T-Rex, but look, if you look closely, it kind of looks like it has feathers all over its body. especially on its head right there too. That is super interesting. I actually don't know what type of dinosaur this is. Let me know in the comments if you know what type of dinosaur this is. Wow, check this one out. This is a good old-fashioned T-Rex, but it is a bright blue and gold color. It's got the movable jaw too. And this is an awesome collector's dinosaur right here. This is so cool. Look at this. This is a super realistic Indominus Rex. This is different than the other ones that we have because look how detailed it is. All over its body, it's got so many different colors in there, and the spikes on its back are a lot smaller, and its face looks a lot meaner too. At least I think so. Here's another brightly colored dinosaur. This looks kind of like a Velociraptor, but I'm not quite sure. Do you know what kind of dinosaur this is? Comment below if you know. All right, another Carnotaurus, but look, this one has one of its horns broken right off. It must have been damaged while in battle or something. Oh, here's a really cool looking Velociraptor. Super detailed, like some of the other models that we've seen. We've got that bright blue stripe all along its body, and you can open and close its mouth, and adjust the arms as well. That is so cool. Better watch out for this dinosaur. All right, another T-Rex, one of the mightiest predators. This one is an awesome green and yellow color, and it's got like gold feet and gold hands, it looks like. This is another super detailed model that you can put up on a shelf. All right, over here, we haven't seen this predator too much in this haul yet. This is a Dilophosaurus. You better watch out for these. These are super vicious. All right, another Velociraptor. This one is a bright green color, and you can open and close its mouth and adjust the arms and legs too. This is a super cool action figure. We've got a few really cool looking Atrociraptors right here. Look at this one. This one is super mean looking, super hungry, I think. And then we've got a bright orange Atrociraptor as well. Better keep your eye on this one. Up next, we've got the Herrerasaurus with a super narrow face. And right over here, we've got the great and mighty Monolof Asaurus. And look at that nose too. That is one of the distinct features of this dinosaur. Just a few more left. Here is a super awesome colored Velociraptor. It's like a dark brown, almost purple in real life, kind of. And then the bright orange on top. This is so cool. And this is, well, I'm actually not sure what this is. What do you think it looks like? Let me know in the comments below. Here is our last mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex of the haul. Super cool, black stripes on top, green on the sides. And our last dinosaur is the great Spinosaurus with battle damage. Super cool. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today, we are checking out my collection of Jurassic World predators versus herbivores. Let's get started with these brand new ones that I just bought. Here is a huge one. This is the Ankylosaurus capture pack. Let's go ahead and open it up. All right, here is our Jurassic World Jeep and the Parasaurolophus. With this Jeep, there's actually a button you can press that shoots out the seat, and then you can see that there's a missile that it shoots too, just like this. That's super cool. This is a super awesome dino hunting playset. Really cool. All right, up next, we've got a Jurassic World Legacy Collection Velociraptor. Let's get this out of the box. All right, so here is the brand new Velociraptor. I don't think I actually have a Velociraptor with this type of coloring. Plus, this Velociraptor has a slashing action with its torso. Look at that spinning motion. That is so cool. It's spring-loaded, so it bounces back and forth. That is really awesome. All right, up next, we've got the Pachycephalosaurus. I love the coloring on this one. It's got that dark blue with the gray. Let's get this out of the box. This is a super cool herbivore. You definitely don't want to get headbutted by this dinosaur. Check out this action move. Spring-loaded head. That is so awesome. And right back here, we've got the Ceratops. That is so interesting. Look at all the horns all over this one's body. Let's get it out of the box. Wow, I love the way this dinosaur looks. It looks like it's wearing a crown almost. And look at the horns on the side too. And this dinosaur has an action as well. Check that out. When you wiggle the tail, the head goes up and down. How cool is that? All right, I know you've been looking at this one. This is a giant Velociraptor. Look how big this figure is. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 3 feet from tail to head. And it's actually pretty heavy too. This dinosaur has a stomach compartment right here. So you can actually feed this dinosaur littler dinosaurs or whatever you want, and it'll go down the throat all the way into the stomach where you can open it up and get those toys out again. That is so awesome. And look at the size of these claws too. Right in the back here, we've got the great Tyrannosaurus Rex. Look at the size of this dinosaur. Look at the size of its body. That is a huge neck and face. And of course, there's the action button for roaring. That is so cool. There's so many teeth in its mouth. And of course, you can wiggle the tail and it'll move its head back and forth. Up next, with a super long neck, we've got the awesome Brachiosaurus. Look at that interesting bump on its head right there. That is so cool. This figure doesn't have any movable parts, but it is super realistic with its coloring and its texture. That is so cool. And one of the next huge dinosaurs in this haul, the great Indominus Rex with battle damage. Look at all those teeth and the awesome battle damage on the side that you can turn on and turn off. There we go. Right up here, we've got a Stegosaurus with a gray-blue coloring. Look at that tail swiping action. That is so cool. And you can adjust the head too. Here's one of my favorite dinosaurs, the Carnotaurus. That is super awesome. It's got a little battle damage on its head. And with the tail, you can move the head. Here's what I think is one of the scariest predators in Jurassic World. This is the Scorpio Rex. It's got loads of teeth in its mouth, super sharp claws, and look at this poisonous tail. Those quills on its tail are poisonous, so you better watch out for those. Here is a super bright dinosaur. This is a predator. It is the Suchomimus. Look at that long mouth with all those teeth. Kind of like an alligator, really. And look at that fin all along its back right there. Right over here is an herbivore. This is the Ankylosaurus. And look at all that armor plating. Here is a scary looking predator. Look at that red all along its neck. This is the Carcharodontosaurus. This is a super cool looking dinosaur. See all those spikes along its back? That is super awesome. Right over here, this predator looks kind of like an alligator too. This is the Sarcophagus with all those teeth in its mouth and this red scaling all along its back and then the green bottom. All right, we've got a bunch more predators and herbivores in here. These two are both Carcharodontosauruses, and look at the difference in coloring too. I think this one's my favorite because I love this orange right along the top of its body. But these are both super cool dinosaurs. Right over here, we've got another herbivore, and look at the horns on this. It kind of reminds me of the horns of a bull, kind of. This is a Zuni Ceratops, and it's got an action button in the back. It can whip its tail back and forth. That is super awesome. And it's got a button on the top for swinging its horns around too. Watch out for those horns. All right, let's keep digging. Ooh, this is an interesting looking herbivore. This is a Ankylosaurus. I love the coloring on this. Got the yellow on the top and the dark blue on the sides. And you can move the head up and down and the tail and all the legs too. Uh-oh, better watch out. Here's another predator. It's the Baryonyx. This is super cool. Check out that chomping action. Here is another herbivore. This is a very uniquely colored dinosaur. This is a Zuni Ceratops, and it kind of reminds me of a Triceratops, you know? See those two horns in the front right there? That is super cool. We've got some smaller herbivores in here. Let's check these out. Wow, these are all so different from each other. This is a Chia Lingasaurus. And look at those spikes on its shoulder too. How interesting is that? This little one right here is a Protoceratops. It looks very small, and it might be a young Protoceratops, but it is super cool. This orange dinosaur is a Gallimimus. Look at that long neck and the long tail. I bet these dinosaurs ran really fast. And this little dinosaur is a Triceratops. See, got the three horns on its head right there. But wait, we've got some more predators in here. Look out, it's the Endo Raptor, one of the sneakiest and smartest dinosaurs out there. Let's check out these. This is a baby Brachiosaurus. You can open and close its mouth and move its neck up and down. And this is another giant Stegosaurus. And it's got that tail swinging action. Those spikes are super big. Wow, that is so neat. Here comes another predator. This is the Spinosaurus. Look at that huge spine along its back, and then all those teeth right up front. All right, we've got a few more dinosaurs in here. This huge dinosaur figure is a Pentaceratops. And check out these action buttons. Those are some massive horns on its head. Right back here, we've got another Parasaurolophus. And this is an older one. This is actually from Jurassic Park. And it's got a running action too. How cool is that? Super cool. We've We've got just a few dinosaurs left. This dinosaur is called a Sinoceratops. And look at the size of that one horn on its head in the very front. That is humongous. All right, here's another predator. This is a bright red and green Velociraptor with jumping action. Check that out. Here he goes, ready and go. All right, these are our final 3 dinosaurs of the Predator versus Herbivore collection. This is a Styracosaurus. And look at all those horns. That is super cool. This interesting looking one is a Shringosaurus. Look at those huge horns right on the top of its head and the super long neck. How interesting is that? And our final dinosaur of the bin is the mighty Kentrosaurus with those huge spikes on its side. And if you pull this lever right here, it swings its spikes back and forth. Welcome to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today, I'm going to show you my huge collection of Godzilla versus Jurassic World versus King Kong figures. Let's get started with some brand new figures that I've got. Starting with, actually, let's go bigger. Let's start with this giant King Kong of Skull Island. Let's open it up. All right, here is the King Kong figure. This comes with a lot. Let's first check out the figure itself. Wow, this is a heavy figure. This has got some weight to it. And you can see it's pretty adjustable. You can move the arms, you can move the legs too. And you can see back here in the case that it comes with a different face. Got its angry face right here. And it comes with a few other things as well. It comes with a few different hands, and it even comes with chains to put around his arms. And it comes with the woman from the King Kong movie. Help me! But overall, I'd say that this is a pretty cool figure. Like I said, this is pretty heavy. This is heavier than even a lot of my larger dinosaur toys. So this will look awesome on my collector's shelf. And I've got another brand new dinosaur toy. This is the Kentrosaurus. Put these spikes on, just clicks right in. And the tail as well. There we go. It's fully built. Let's check out that action button right up top. Wow, that is really cool. It's got a slashing action with these giant spikes on its side. You better watch out for this dinosaur in the jungle. And I've got a mystery bag. Let's see what's inside the mystery bag. Ooh, it's super bright. All right, check this out. This is an awesome looking Godzilla. I haven't seen one like this before. Let's go ahead and put in the tail. Wow. This Godzilla is super bright. Look at those green spikes on its back. It's still got a giant red spike line right along the back. And it's got red and green all over its body. And even a little bit of purple right up front there. And look at that face too. That is one scary looking face. We've got one more brand new dinosaur toy. This is a good old-fashioned Velociraptor, but this one is bright red and green. I don't know that I have one this color yet, so this will be really cool to add to my collection. And this Velociraptor has the jumping action as well. So when you press down on its legs like that, and you let go, it jumps up into the air. That is super cool. All right, let's dig into our giant bin of King Kong, Godzilla, and Jurassic World dinosaurs. Starting with this giant King Kong figure with his battle axe that's glowing blue. That is super cool. And this King Kong has a swivel action, so he can swing with his axe. Next up, we've got a giant Mechagodzilla figure. This one is huge. It's over a foot tall. And look at all the machinery and mechanic stuff. This really looks like a robot.
Locked on target.
And of course, we've got a bunch of T-Rexes. This T-Rex has the battle damage on the side. And a posable face too, so you can keep its jaw open when you're displaying it on a shelf. Here's another giant T-Rex. This one has a chomping action. Watch this, when you move the tail, it'll chomp downwards. That is super cool. You better watch out for all those teeth. And at the very top up here, we've got another battle damaged Tyrannosaurus Rex. Watch out, here he comes. Back here is my largest Godzilla figure. This one is huge, over a foot tall and super big. Look at this body and the legs and these spikes too. These spikes are ginormous. Right up front here, we've got some of my favorite dinosaurs. These two are Spinosauruses, and you can see the different coloring on them. This one is mostly tan with the red spine, and this one has a bit cooler coloring with the blue on its spine and like tan and brown and red on its face all over. These are both really cool. This is King Kong with the battle damage on its chest. And this is Godzilla. This is a blue Godzilla, and they're ready to face off. Fight, fight, fight! Let's keep digging. We've got a whole lot more. This is a fire Godzilla. Look at the glowing yellow and orange on its spikes and on the front. And right here, we've actually got my favorite fire Godzilla. Look at the detail on this. It really looks like it is on fire right now. That is so cool. Check this one out. This is a hybrid Tyrannosaurus Rex. It looks mostly normal, but you see those spikes up top? You can press a button and out they come. That is a super cool action. Here's some more Godzilla figures. This is the Godzilla Ultima. Look at those giant spikes on its back. It's super heavy. And then we've got this Godzilla figure, which is from the Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla movie. This is a giant Stegosaurus. This one is mostly green with the brown accents on its spine and below. And it's got an action button. If you press down, it'll swing its tail back and forth. Here is an interesting looking dinosaur. I haven't seen many that look like this. This is the Amargasaurus. Right back here, we've got another massive King Kong figure. Look at the battle damage on its chest, and this one's holding a chain, and you can move the arms and twist the torso as well. Here is a few more Godzilla figures. We've got an awesome, super adjustable Mechagodzilla figure right here. Look at how you can move its arms all over and its legs, and you can even open and shut its mouth. And then right here, we've got the infamous Destroyer. And what I really like about this figure is that you can move the wings so that it hides behind its back. So right now it's standing on the ground, and then when it's ready to fly, out come the wings. Look out, here it comes. Look at this massive herbivore. This is a Pentaceratops, and check out all those horns. We've got a lot more Godzilla, Kong, and Jurassic World figures. Let's keep digging. Here is another Mechagodzilla with shoulder rockets. And here is a King Kong figure, and this one has longer arms than my other figures, I think. Look at the length of those arms. He can reach real far. Here is a super bright Dilophosaurus. These are known from the Jurassic Park movies for spitting venom. We've got some more King Kong figures. This one is a great one for a shelf. Look how massive this King Kong is. And this King Kong has an action. Right along the back, there's a button you press, and here comes his roar. And a really mean snarl face too, look at that. Here we've got a super bright dinosaur. This is the Suchomimus. Look at all those teeth along its mouth. Here, we've got a dinosaur that lives by the water. This is the Sarcophagus. Look at that super long mouth. It has a pretty large nose up front, but look at all those teeth too. Here comes some more King Kong figures. We've got the normal colored King Kong right here with the battle axe. We've got the King Kong figure with the blue and purple on its sides. We've got this snow or Arctic Kong right here. And we've got even some more King Kong figures right here. Look at this one. He's kind of making a bit of a funny face, don't you think? Keep going. Oh, another King Kong figure, and this one is super posable. And look at that battle axe too. This might be my favorite battle axe that I have. Over here, we've got the giant Carcharodontosaurus. Here is another herbivore. This is the Zuni Ceratops. And look at these interesting horns up top too. They're like curled. That's pretty cool. Ooh, here's another cool figure from the King Kong movies. This is a skull crawler. And the final two dinosaurs of the bin. This is a giant Cryolophosaurus. And finally, the great and mighty King Kong. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today, I'm going to show you a huge collection of Jurassic World figures. Let's start with these brand new, and I've actually got this giant one right here. Let's open it up. This is a Ginormous Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's got the foot stomping action. And it's got a roar with a button as well. Let's check that out. That is so cool. Plus, this set comes with a cage that you put around its head that it can break free from. Let's go ahead and put that on and check out the action. All right, so here is the trapped T-Rex, but I think he can break free. Let's see him try. Ready? 3, 2, 1, break free! Wow, that is so cool. I love that action. I've got a few more brand new ones to add to my collection, starting with this one. This is the Tanystropheus. Let's go ahead and open this up. And let's check it out. Wow, look at that really long neck. And I love the coloring on this. This is like a bright blue color. I don't have that many dinosaurs that are colored like this. And that really long neck leading up to this awesome face right there. Look at those teeth too. And I believe this one has an action as well. If you move the tail, then the neck moves up and down. That is so cool. And I've got another brand new dinosaur to add to my collection. This is the Styracosaurus from the Fierce Force collection. Let's check this out. So this looks kind of like a Triceratops, you know? But it has a lot more horns. And this one has an action as well. If you move the tail, then the head goes up and down. And I really like those, it's like a glowing yellow and orange right there on the front of its head. All right, which one should we do next? I think we should do this awesome Indominus Rex. Look at the coloring on this. This is so bright and so cool looking. It's got the blue belly with the purple on the side and on the top. And then it's got that black ridge all the way down with the orange outlining it. This is a really cool Indominus Rex, and it has two actions. You've got the button on the tail for the roar, and you've got a button up top here for the slashing action. That is so cool. Look at all those teeth. Up next, right in front here, we've got a giant Spinosaurus. Look at the blue coloring on its spine, and look at all this brown and tan. I think that this would blend into the jungle really well. This one would sneak up on you, and it would pounce on you before you could even know it's there. This is a really cool figure. And right over here, we've got one of my favorite T-Rex figures. This one is different from all the others because it has this green and brown coloring all over it that'll make it blend into the jungle more than any of the other T-Rexes that I have. And it has some action buttons as well. It's got the foot stomp right here. And if you move the tail, it'll move its head too. That is super cool. The coloring and detail on this Tyrannosaurus Rex is super realistic. Over here, we've got another Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one is like a brown-orange color. The legs move, the tail moves, the arms, and look at all the battle damage all over it. It's got it on its leg, on its tail, on its side, and I really like the ones on its face too. It makes it look a lot more tough. Look at that. That is so cool. Uh-oh, you better watch out. Here comes another Indominus Rex. This one is a normal colored Indominus Rex, but it still has the same awesome action buttons like we saw on the blue Indominus Rex. Got the roar, and you've got the slashing action. That is so cool, and look at all these spikes and bumps on its back too. This Indominus Rex is huge. Uh-oh, you better watch out. Here comes one of the biggest ocean monsters that we saw in the Jurassic World movies. This is the Mosasaurus. Look at the size of its mouth. That is huge, and all those teeth. If you saw this in the ocean, you better get away fast. All right, we've got another Spinosaurus with different coloring. This one is green and red, and I think would blend into the jungle just as well as the other one probably. Maybe not with the red, but who knows? It's still got the same awesome action button for its jaw, and you can move its arms, its legs, and its tail as well. This is a really cool Spinosaurus figure. Over here, we've got another super cool Tyrannosaurus Rex. This one, though, has the battle damage that you can turn on and off. Check it out with this button right here. That is so cool. So when you're playing with another dinosaur, and the other dinosaur comes along, and it bites him on the side. You can turn on the battle damage just like that. That is super neat. And of course, we've got a Carnotaurus right here. This is like a red and orange dinosaur with a brown on top with all those little spikes. That is so cool. And up, he's a loud dinosaur. And up top here, you can see that it's got those two huge horns. You better watch out for this one in the jungle. All right, let's keep digging. Over here. All right. This is a Scorpio Rex from the Jurassic World movies. Look at those poisonous spikes. I think they're quills actually on its tail. And it's got two action buttons. Look at all those teeth right there. And the second action button is for the arms. Also, look at that massive claw on its foot. That is so crazy. All right here we've got a giant winged dinosaur. This is the Quetzalcoatl, or I think that's how you pronounce it. But this is a huge flying dinosaur, and it's got two action buttons right there on the top. Let's see what they do. The first one flaps its wings like that. The second one moves its beak up and down. That is super cool. This is a huge flying dinosaur figure. Oh, look at this right over here. One of the coolest dinosaurs from the new Jurassic World movies, the Endo Raptor. On this figure, the jaw doesn't open and close, which is a bit of a bummer, but you can still move its arms and its legs and its tail as well. And look at that detail of the gold stripe down its side. Check it out. We've got two more Scorpio Rexes right here in the back. Look at this. One of them is a bit smaller than the other. This one has the action buttons just like we saw before. And this one, the smaller one, doesn't have the action buttons, but it still has the same coloring and those poisonous quills on its tail. All right, let's keep digging around. Let's see. All right, here is an Allosaurus. Look at that action. That chomping action right there. That is so cool. This is a gray dinosaur, and it's got those yellow markings all along its back and tail. And it's quite movable as well. You can move all the parts of its body. All right, here we've got an Ankylosaurus with battle damage. This Ankylosaurus has an action as well. If you move its leg, then its tail will move back and forth for hitting its opponents, and its face will move up and down too. That is super cool, and I love that battle damage. That's a cool little detail there. All right, we've got another vicious Endo Raptor. This one has a mouth that can open and close, and its entire body basically can move as well. It is fully adjustable. So this is a great model to have up on your shelf. And once again, that gold stripe all the way down its body. That is so cool. All right, here we've got what I believe is a Ceratops. It's got that big horn on the front and all those tiny little, I think they're like spikes or bumps right along its spine. And it's got an action button as well. Wow, that is super scary sounding. All right, here we've got one of the most popular dinosaurs from the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies, the Velociraptor. And this figure is super posable. Look at that, you can move its legs in any direction, even its claw right on its foot can go up and down. This is a great super posable Velociraptor. Up next, we've got a miniature Spinosaurus with battle damage and an action as well. You move the tail, the head can move as well. You better watch out for Spinosauruses whenever you're near water, because these dinosaurs are known for hunting for fish. That is super cool. All right, we've got another Velociraptor right here. I think I got a few more in here. Oh yeah, here is Blue the Velociraptor, and it's got the battle damage too. That is so cool. But this yellow Velociraptor actually has a spring jumping action like that. Look at with its legs, they're spring loaded, so it can leap up into the air. You ready? And back into the bin. This is a super cool Velociraptor and super bright. Oh, look at this super bright dinosaur. This is so colorful, bright blue, and the dark blue and gold as well. This, I believe, is a hybrid dinosaur, I think between a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops. That is so cool, and it's got the battle damage too. Right over here, we've got a miniature Mosasaurus. We saw the big version of this, and now here is a smaller toy version. But this one comes with the battle damage. Look at that, you can even see some bones in there too. And look at this one. This is a baby T-Rex. Look at that, it looks a lot like an adult T-Rex. Still has the same stance and overall form, but it's just a lot smaller, and it looks like a baby in some ways. And it's got the action as well. Check this out. We've got another super posable Velociraptor. Look at how you can pose its arms and its legs, and its head and even its neck too. You don't see that very often in figures. And look at those claws again. You can move them up and down, just like how they do in real life. Here we've got another Ankylosaurus, I believe. Look at all that armor plating, and it's got the spikes on the side as well. And it's got an action button right here. When you press it, there goes its tail. You better watch out. You do not want to get hit by that tail. All right, look at this one. This is a Metriacanthosaurus. This is a super bright red dinosaur, and it's got those black stripes all along its back and its tail as well. And it's even got a little bit of like the orange yellow on its face too. And it's got the action button. This is the Edmontosaurus. Look at that. Yellow up top and the blue along its head. And it's a super colorful dinosaur. Do you think that this would blend into the jungle still though? Let me know in the comments below. Look at this giant dinosaur. This is an Zuni Ceratops, and check out those giant horns. They kind of look like the horns of a bull, don't you think, in a way? That's really cool. And we've got the action buttons up top as well. This is a massive dinosaur. You better stay out of the way of this one or he might stomp on you. Oh, we've got another Allosaurus right here, but this one looks different than the last one that we saw. This one is blue up top and then a tan on the sides and the bottom. And we've got the action buttons. Let's see what they do. That is super cool. Here we've got a tiny little Stygimoloch with a super hard head and the spikes. and with the action as well, so it can headbutt other dinosaurs to defend itself. And here we've got two differently colored Gallimimuses. We've got a bright orange one here, and then like a blue-gray Gallimimus right here. Oh, you know what? We've got another Gallimimus in here. I missed this one. But this one also has different coloring. Look at that. Blue and red up top, and the orange sides, and the orange tail as well. Just a few dinosaurs left. Here we've got a baby Ankylosaurus. Look at that. It still has that hard covering up top to defend itself against predators. Oh, right here we've got two twin dinosaurs. These are the Ornitholestes. And they're both brown with the yellow striping on top and a little bit of orange on their face right there. Here we've got a bright green dinosaur. This is the Sauropelta. And check out those massive spikes on its back. I bet those are for defense against predators. And here are our last two dinosaurs. This is the Rajasaurus, with the battle damage on the side too. That is super neat. And this gray dinosaur is the Dimetrodon. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are unboxing a bunch of dinosaurs that we think are going to be in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion movie. I'm super excited for the movie and I'm super excited to show you all these dinosaurs. So let's get started with this T-Rex. Look at this coloring here. It's got like the camouflage coloring. It's got the green and then the dark brown on the top. And on the bottom here you can see this button that makes the sound every time the T-Rex stomps on the ground, like this. That is really cool. And if you move the tail, it moves the T-Rex's head too. This is super cool. This is one of my favorite T-Rexes right here. All right, next up is the famous Spinosaurus. Did you know that Spinosauruses are actually larger than Tyrannosaurus Rexes? And Spinosauruses are actually the largest predator dinosaur that we know of. All right, next up, we've got this gigantic Mosasaurus figure. All the fins pivot and the mouth opens and closes. Look at those eyes too. Did you know that Mosasauruses are actually not considered dinosaurs? They are reptiles and actually pretty closely related to snakes. That's really interesting. I didn't know that before. All right, here we go. An Indominus Rex. Look at the size of those claws on its feet. Claws on its hands too. Wow, those are massive. It's got the spikes on the back of its head too. Look at these two action buttons. Got one up here, and then one on the tail for the jaw. And over here, we've got a T-Rex. And look at this button on the top. When you press it, it whips its head around like it's tearing a piece of meat. Look at that. And the other button on its back moves the tail back and forth. That's pretty cool. All right, we've got another Spinosaurus. This one is colored differently. It's mostly green, and it's got the red and white stripes on the spine. Next up in our bin, we've got the Sarcophagus, and look at the coloring on this one. It's like a dark purple on top, and it's got that red and orange, and then a gray-blue belly and side as well. And check out the teeth on this thing too. Did you know that both the Sarcophagus here and the Spinosaurus lived near water? Which means that in real life, they probably battled each other all the time for food and for territory. And speaking of Spinosauruses, here is another one. And this has the brown coloring on the side and also the red spine, just like the other Spinosauruses we've seen. And look at that, we've got another Indominus Rex in our bin. Look at the size difference between an Indominus Rex and the T-Rex toy. An Indominus Rex is bigger than the T-Rex. And I really like this T-Rex toy. It's quite controllable, as you can see with the tail. You can move its head, you can twist its head when you twist the tail, and it's got the button on the tail as well if you want to operate the mouth. Did you know that we still actually are not sure why T-Rex's front arms are so small? We're not entirely sure. I find that super interesting. Let's keep digging. Let's see what else is in here. All right. We got a Scorpio Rex right here. Did you know that these spines are actually venomous? And when they're attacked, they'll hit their opponent with this tail, and these spines will actually stay in their opponent, just like a porcupine, actually. All right, let's keep digging through our bin. Check this out. This is a really loud dinosaur. This is a Magingasaurus, and it's got the green coloring on most of its body, and then like the yellow stripes on its back. Wow, this one is quite noisy. Look at that blue coloring on its neck too. That's pretty cool. And when you move the tail on this toy, its head moves up and down too. Ooh, look at this. This one right here is a Zuni Ceratops. And look at all those horns on the front too. And next up in our bin, we've got a gray Allosaurus, and it's got that yellow pattern on the top of its body right there. When we press this action button, ooh, those are cool sound effects. And look at those teeth too. All right, here we go. I remember this from the other Jurassic World movies. Here is the Endo Raptor. It's black, and it's got that gold stripe down the side. These dinosaurs are quite sneaky in the movie. And here we've got a flying dinosaur. This is a Pteranodon. It's got the red wings on the top and like the blue-green body, and its mouth opens and closes too. And when you press the button on its back, the wings flap. All right, check it out. We've actually got 3 Dilophosauruses in this bin. Look, we've got a green one here. We've got a gray one right here. And then we've got like a dark brown one right here with the blue top. Very cool. Only a few more left. One of my favorites, a Velociraptor. It's got the gold top. Look at how shiny that is. And the blue sides. Only 3 left. Next up is this Stygimoloch. And look on its side, it's got that battle damage that you can flip open. Look at the horns on the top too. And for our final 2 dinosaurs in the bin, we've got a Dimetrodon here with the red spine. And look at that, its mouth opens and closes. And we've got a Gallimimus. It's a small little dinosaur. Its neck moves up and down though. Its arms move up and down, and its legs as well. Want to see more dino videos? Click the subscribe button now.